Hello, in the next few videos we're going to talk about the course toolkit. There's quite a bit going on in this course, but hopefully we're going to be able to organize some of these tools into certain categories and give you a little bit of information about what we expect you to know about them now versus what you're going to learn about throughout the semester. So let's start with kind of a diagram or a list of what are all the tools that we're going to be using in the course. And I've separated it into two buckets. One of them is for course operation and the other one is for doing data science. Some of the pieces of the course operation are there because we're running the course online this semester, and some would have been there anyway, even if we were doing some of this stuff in person. The doing data science part would not have changed at all whether we were doing this in person or not, which is kind of the nice thing that I mentioned in an earlier video, that we're actually able to leverage tools we would have been already using for things like remote collaboration. So let's start with the course operations side. First of all, this is the website that you need to know about in terms of where to find course information, introds.org. So if you go to that web page, it's going to look something like this. You can make it dark mode if you like, which I think looks a little bit nicer in the video, so I'm going to use it that way here. A little bit of information about the course. And then something about the timetable, what to expect to be happening each day, and we're going to fill in the student hours bit as we get information from you and schedule those. A little bit of encouragement for this semester, and the course schedule. So on the overview tab, you're going to see, or on the overview menu, you're going to see this figure I've shown you before that has the deadlines. I kind of want to call them tentative, kind of don't want to. We are going to try our best to stick to them, but I'm just trying to be realistic about everything that might happen this semester that we might know about. But barring extreme circumstances, this is kind of the roadmap for the semester. But most importantly for you, on a weekly basis are these little pages for each of the weeks. So I'm going to click on week 1, and for each week I'll try to summarize what are the tasks that you should have in mind, so you can use that as a checklist. You can see that for week 1 we have a lot because they're each very small things, versus as the weeks go on, those are going to be just a few items, but we expect them to take you a little bit longer because you're going to be working on genuine assignments. The videos that you're going to be watching, any sort of readings, and I list them as required and optional, and then any assignments, and you will have an assignment for this week. It's not posted yet, but I will get it up there, and it's just going to be a syllabus survey, so nothing very kind of difficult. And I have the note here, and I will have notes like this whenever there's information that even if we've said it in the videos, I think that should grab your attention. So here I just mentioned that we're not grading anything that's happening on week 0, but I really want you to start practicing with the technology a little bit. So if you're looking for course materials, slides, videos, you're like, all right, I'm going to sit down and work on this course. Where do I go? This is the website that you want to go to. That being said, there's another part of this kind of like course materials type of distribution, which is the Learn site, which is the university's official course management system. And we won't be using that too much, as in that's not where I'm posting stuff, although I have put links to the videos and stuff there in case some of you prefer to use that, and I've put like the really important links. So one of the things that I'm going to use Learn for is get emails to you. As I said, once or twice a week I'll be making announcements, and instead of sending you an email from my email account, I'm going to be posting an announcement there. Here's Krista Rose. I'm going to be posting an announcement there, and you can always go back, and even if you have missed that email, you can always go back and see the announcements there. Your course marks are also going to be posted there, because obviously I wouldn't post them anywhere public, so you can log on, and as we grade things for you, you can go to the grade center there and see them, and also link to join our Studio Cloud. Since we want to keep that space private, I've posted that there as well. All right, Zoom is what we're going to use for video calls, for student hours, code along sessions, and workshops. You will be getting links emailed for each one of these. I very, very strongly recommend downloading the app as opposed to using the web interface. The way Zoom has set things up, some of the functionality is available in the app, but not in the web interface. So download it. And the other important thing is that you should log on with your University of Edinburgh account. So that means sign in SSO. You may have used Zoom prior to this. I feel like all of us spent all our summer socializing on Zoom at a minimum, and you may have even done like work stuff or school stuff there, and so you might have a previous account. But I'd like you to sign in with your University of Edinburgh account. So for the domain, you are to type ed-ac-uk. And what that does is that then my system can recognize you as who you are. So once we have preset groups that we want you to be assigned to, I can actually upload a list of those groups, and we don't have to worry about manually moving people around. If in the first week you end up not doing this, that's fine. That's what Friday's workshop is for, to try to figure out how we can do these things best. Next up is Teams, and you can think about Teams as a chat room for the course, if you will. If you're enrolled in the course, you should have been added to the Teams space as well. And if you're not, give it a day. Some of I think enrollment happens overnight. And if you're not still there by Friday, we'll make sure that we're going to get you in. For now, I'm not posting anything essential in there. And mostly what I'm thinking is it's going to be for brief questions and discussion. We have a channel for random, that's just for random banter. Every once in a while, I might come across a blog post that I think would be interesting to you, and I would post them there. And I hope that you will do the same as well. Obviously, we want to make sure that we are abiding by the code of conduct for the course and for academic discourse, but ultimately I think it might be a place to share something fun, sometimes your frustrations, and sometimes what you're happy about maybe in terms of the course. We're also going to have these private channels for tutorial groups, and they're only private so that it's not confusing to each of you. You will belong to one of those three, and my plan for those is that during the workshops especially, if we end up wanting to announce something that's a little bit more than a Zoom kind of message, I might post that there. Also for you, sometimes you get kind of stuck in a Zoom room and you are looking for help, and maybe it's not entirely clear how you would get that there. So that can be another place that you can ask questions. So during the live workshops, myself and the tutors will be watching both Teams and Zoom. And also outside of the live workshops, I figured we can kind of use that for discussion as well. We are also going to add private channels for each team. So once we set you up with your teams after week 2, you're going to have a private channel for your team. You can use this space to chat with each other. You can use this space to just hop on video calls with each other. It is also fine for me if you would prefer to keep your chatter elsewhere, but we're just providing this to you so you at least have a default place where you can have text, audio, and video chat, and an opportunity to share screen or share files. But if you decide that a different tool works better for your team, that's perfectly fine as well. And we have Piazza. So Piazza is going to be coming soon, and I'm just holding off on setting everything up because I've been told that there's going to be better integration, so you don't have to set up a new account, a new password, and something like that. But this is going to be what we use for all course-related questions. And this is one of the tools that we would have been using even if we were not running this course online. There's always questions to be asked, and I don't think email is the right medium for that. I think it's very useful for you to articulate your question in a way where not just myself but the other students will read as well. This sometimes means thinking about how you ask the question, so you're not just like copy and pasting your entire homework there and asking what's wrong with this, but instead thinking and minimizing your questions a little bit. It is also a place for you to not just ask questions but also answer each other's questions, and I'd like you to do that for a variety of reasons. One, the more you guys are answering each other's questions, the less I have to, but that's not the only reason. The most important thing is that that you learn from answering each other's questions. It's a great skill to be able to kind of see the question from someone who's clearly confused about something, maybe even ask follow-up questions and then be able to say, I think I know how to help you. And I think if you can get to that point, if you can push yourself to get to that point, you're going to get a lot out of this course. We're not going to be marking how many times you post there and stuff, because I find those to be somewhat silly metrics, to be honest. But I'd like to reward those of you who do actually put in the extra time to do that. And the only reward won't be just the experience that you get, which is, I think, the more important part, but we'll give some Piazza awards at the end of the semester. I don't know what yet, but probably some stickers or something like that. We'll figure something out. Importantly, before posting, check the questions that have already been asked and answered. Sometimes it might be hard to tell that another question is the same as yours or getting to the same idea, but at least if you go through the trouble of checking, we might be able to avoid redundant questions. Most importantly, despite all these tools and all these venues that you kind of need to keep straight in your mind, and I hope that I will be able to help you keep them straight, stay engaged, participate, and ask questions. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter how. Let me and the other course organizer and the tutors guide you to learn what the right venues for your questions might be. But at the beginning, instead of being stuck, just ask and try to stay engaged as much as possible.